Losira, first of all, does not know at all about this expansion. Well, no, excuse me, yeah, he does. He sees the assimilator. You don't just make those randomly. Yet he attacked into this location over here that we saw in this kind of sandbox location. Now Losira trying to expand. I don't see naniwa failing if he does assault. A lot of corruptors here, Artosis.
Yeah, that's quite true. And he's also producing a lot of Zerglings, and a lot of people may find that interesting and weird, but those are going to be great for any counterattacks. And also, he killed a lot of the sentries. Without the sentries there to make a little pocket for your army to stand in, Zerglings are going to be much more useful than they normally are.
Well, it's getting to the point in time where both players are going to be branching out to the upper left side of the map. The bottom right side is somewhat doable to expand, but you're in a little bit too close in proximity. Hold that thought, though. He's coming around.
And look at that. The Zerglings, not enough force fields. They're getting a great surface area, and the Colossus firing at the wrong thing. One is firing at a spine crawler somewhere, and suddenly Losira turning the tides, taking out a lot of very important units, and down go the Colossi to these Corruptors. He's going to run those away. 24 Lings, 10 Hydras being produced. That is the absolute perfect thing to do after suiciding the Corruptors on the Colossus. Beautiful play by Losira.
Losira is really impressing me here. He's going to have to deal with the fact that naniwa may be able to take the top center location. Note, he did lose all of his Colossi, only one here now, but essentially his Colossi count has been reset. That's a pretty steep hill to climb back up, as the Zerg can make as many Corruptors as he wants to out of all those larvae, whereas the Colossi, for the time being, are going to come out in increments.
You know, he's actually he just made an immortal as well, Tesa, so he might be switching tech a little bit here to avoid these Corruptors being overly good. And they do take that one Colossus out, taking a lot of damage, but that's a lot of supplying Corruptors that if he doesn't make any more Colossus is going to be pretty useful until the Broodlords come out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Broodlord tech. You got that right for sure, Artosis. You know, for the time being, Losira continuing to grow, expand on the map. But, you know, also note, naniwa does not have a gold base. So Losira, even though it looks like it's even in expansions, Losira will indeed be in the lead for the time being.
And we have naniwa microing back there. He does have 2-1 upgrades against the 1-1 Hydras and 1-1 Lings. Some nice force fields going up, slowing down those Hydras, but these Lings doing a great job, and the Corruptors using their corruption to make the Lings do even more damage. naniwa is forced to retreat back into this area, and he does not have Blink yet. It's about halfway done, so he's going to have a hard time microing against these Hydras.
All right, for the time being, the Stalkers now pushing out here. Now, Hydras do a lot of damage, but at the same time, they take a lot of damage. I think this was a little bit of a blunder here from Losira. His supply, if you note, still though very high. He can remake this. Oh, excuse me, there's actually way too many Zerg units that are streaming in here. It actually doesn't matter. It looks like the single player in StarCraft 2, where the Zerg is just overwhelming you.
Yes, it does, Jason.
Yes, it does.
We have a lot of Lings and Hydras just running up the map. I do not think naniwa can actually hold this any longer. He still has a huge economy. He has a ton of gateways. He's just pumping out of everything. But Losira, he has too much. He's invading this natural base, and the probes are just going down. The Hydra's doing insane amounts of damage, but Blank's coming on, and finally Blink is done. So now we can see some amazing naniwa micro. Maybe he can hold on for a bit longer.
As you can see, the Corruptor's chasing him down. The creep is all the way to the Protoss' front door here. He's continuing to reinforce Stalkers with really no support. Stalkers by themselves, even with Blink, not as effective against a very diverse Zerg army like this.
You know, this is a great Zerg army, Tasteless. Ling Hydra, one of the most powerful things, and without Psystorm or Colossus, so hard to combat. And here we go, he's attacking up into this area, but he may not have enough. He may have overdone it, Tasteless. A lot of Zealots are being warped in. They do not have charge, though, so won't be all that useful.
For the time being, the Corruptor's staying here just in case any Colossus moves into this location. Losira attempting to split any large units away from the two expansions, which are somewhat vulnerable. And I gotta say, I don't know, this Immortal definitely not the unit of choice in a situation like this.
Yeah, the Immortal definitely not Tasteless, but a lot of units for naniwa coming down. You've got to realize these Corruptors are taking up a lot of the supply of Losira, so even though he's maxed, he doesn't have as many units as maybe he could. And look at this, naniwa doing flanks on Losira, but the micro of Losira, the battle picking is just phenomenal, just attacking exactly what he should at all moments.
He may just try to target down the Nexus. He knows the situation is a little bit dicey, but if he can just eliminate that one structure, it's going to put his opponent in a little bit of a difficult position right now. naniwa being chased back. The Nexus, very low, 38 HP here, and it does go down.
Wow, and the Hydra's now coming up here.
Losira
another base.
Again.
We're just both commentating at the same time. It's too exciting.
So, now this location pretty vulnerable. And FF or GG.
Yeah, F is next to G. It happens. That was a good
That
game.
was so sick.
You guys want to talk about
Dude.
high-level play, man? Whew. That was one of the absolute best Protoss in the world.
I want to
We
talk
don't know
for
that he's
just a
not the
minute.
best, and Losira one of the best Zergs in the world.
No, it was an amazing game. I want to talk for a minute, even though naniwa lost, how brilliant that build was.
Unbelievable with the multitasking, the Void Rays, the Phoenixes doing damage all game long.
That's a build you can actually only do in that spot due to making your structures in that location. That's not a build you can do on any map in any place. Had he spawned somewhere else on that map, in that matchup, a different build would have occurred. Yet we see a build that specific, that calculated, that well executed.
That's naniwa.
naniwa is pretty damn good.
I would say so.
All right?
Yeah.
I don't want to fight anymore about it. He's pretty.
I'll just
pretty
agree
off
with you.
the hook. Guys.